totally not crashing out because of the video I just saw. No, there's none of that whatsoever. Let's move that over this way. Move that down. There we go. I'm on to the second level. Let's see how well I can do at this game. While also talking about all of that stuff. What's the game I'm playing? It's right below me. Net attack. Right down there. The maker of the game sent it over for me to play. And it's one of the games I've been having the most fun with. But I just reset my save because the new version came out. If you spam the chat, I'm just going to ignore you. I was literally answering your questions and you just spammed the chat. That was a weird choice. What is with chats on TikTok where so many people will just copy and paste their message over and over again, thinking that that will get the streamer to want to give them an answer? Yeah, I'm just gonna mute you. Oh, I forgot to actually check this. Okay, there's a little bit of audio. Oh, I know why it's so quiet. Because I probably did this. Nope, it's at full. Is there audio setting? Ah, there we go. I literally answered the dude's question and I even told him that the name of it's right down there so he could reference it. What's up with nerdy guys? We have fun. We have a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. I want this to go right here. And I know I can play this game without a mouse at all. I can just use the controller, but doing visual coding with blocks is so much easier. Yeah, I still can't hear it at all. Is my audio way down? Not 100% currently. Wow, that audio is really quiet. Elaborate on what I mean by bubble. Oh, that's an easy one. So most of the finances come from them trading amongst themselves and investing in each other so that they can buy back stuff from like Nvidia is giving money to other companies so that those companies can then buy stuff from Nvidia. And so it's just a very circular way that most of the money is in the system. And then most of the any of the money that is tokens and things like that don't even compare really to how much money is being like invested throughout all of these, including OpenAI has openly admitted that they are not profitable and they are likely to run out of money by the end of the year unless they become profitable. Then we can see things like the Allbirds stock. If we go to this one, actually, let's go to 6 month. You can see it really well. So Allbirds announced that they were going to start getting graphics cards to rent out, even though they are a shoe company. They were going to start renting graphics cards for AI use. Their stock price massively jumped. It jumped by about 6 times its value. So, yeah, everything about it points to it being a bubble. Yeah, at every level, everything you look at about it, it appears to be a bubble. Yeah. Someone said that they called a dealership that was using AI in a commercial and called them cucks, and they haven't seen the commercial since. That's pretty funny. Bro can't read a financial statement. What did I miss that changes this from a bubble to not being a bubble? Is Cisco Packet Tracer still good? I don't. Is good to use? I think so. I don't use Cisco stuff that often. So it's not a bubble because Google and Meta, which are companies that have a lot of other products to boost their sales, are doing good? Or are you saying, like, I don't get what you're saying there? Because that doesn't change that all of this is happening. I'm not coping, Blake. I'm educating people. Part of my job. Yeah, I'm sure they cut a bunch of staff with AI, and quite a few companies have been regretting firing staff in favor of AI. But let me put it this way, I don't really trust Meta when it comes to that type of stuff because what was their last big investment that they wasted a ton of money? Oh yeah, the metaverse. That was a massive flop. If it was a real bubble, Google stocks would be worth 50. Based off of what? I would love to see your numbers like that about that. When was the last time there was a real bubble? There was the start of one with NFTs and oh, what did they call it? Well, metaverse stuff. Dot com bubble wasn't the last economic bubble, not by a long shot. I'm getting the feeling you don't know what an economic bubble is. Is there something we can download to get behind the paywall for reading an article? I mean, one of the easiest, I mean, there's extensions that do it, but one of the easiest ways to do it is the Wayback Machine. Yes, Canopolis, but massive companies are no longer investing in it. Do you not remember how Ubisoft put a ton of money into having NFTs in their games and they were developing games for it? Multiple different game companies were developing games for NFTs. a lot of companies were starting to invest in NFT type stuff, trying to figure out a way to force it into their uh, products. I mean, heck, even companies started putting like NFT in the name of their company, and their evaluation went up drastically. That's a bubble. I don't think you know what a bubble is, and so you're deciding that this isn't a bubble. Yeah, that's a small bubble. It didn't actually get to a point where it would pop in a way that would be harmful to businesses. The AI bubble also has this massive investor feeding where it is massive amounts of money being invested into companies just so those companies can give the money back to the company that invested in them. What game is that? It's Net Attack. It's right down there. I don't mind off-topic questions. Wayback Machine gets a copy of the article without the paywall, usually. There are other tools that actually help as well if Wayback Machine doesn't work, but that's the one that I found most reliable usually. Someone asked about the harm, didn't they? Yeah, LLMs are harmful. Okay. We are gonna go to this one. This is by MIT. This is an ongoing study where they're looking into the harm from overuse of things like ChatGPT, and it doesn't take a lot to be considered overuse. So what is Google's real non-bubble valuation? I have no clue. I'm not making any speculation on that. I'm stating that this is a bubble because of all of the other things about it. If you want, I can spend the next week going over the numbers and trying to figure out a more accurate valuation for Google without the AI bubble stuff, but that seems like a waste of time for your little nitpick that doesn't actually contradict any of the stuff that I've said. You want to ask what would be the best skill to upskill to get paid better? It depends on what line of work you're in. No, Canopolis. Nowhere in the stuff that I talked about was Google. I don't even think, is Meta actually on this one? No, Meta's not even on here. You're the one who brought up Meta and Google instead of addressing any of the stuff that I said. um, for you, I would, if you enjoy analyst stuff, I would say start getting into more data analysts, analytics, and learning databases if you don't already know them. Do I have thoughts on Anthropic Claude usage for enterprise? Like, what do you mean? Like, do I think companies should be relying so much on AI? No. Do I think it's a tool that some people should use as employees? Yeah. But only if it works for what you do for work. There's a lot of companies that are trying to force it onto every employee because they want to get their value out of it and they think that it's going to save them tons of money. Yeah, honestly, one of my favorite things to use uh AI for is helping with my emails because sometimes I get stuck on a thread that I need summarized. Yeah, that's just basic automation. Like you could do that without AI, honestly, but some AI tools might do it better. In my opinion, how can AI harm be reduced? I mean, the simplest way is once the bubble pops, the harm will be greatly reduced because we won't see it as something that companies are investing in for the investment's sake. Like that's what companies are doing right now. They're investing in it because they get money back out of it. And so they're seeing it as an investment instead of as technology. Oh yeah, I don't like I think AI is harmful and everything, but also at the same time, there are AI tools that are very useful and very helpful for certain things. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Do I know the difference between x86 and x64 architecture or operating system because our new senior tech didn't? Oh my god. Okay, maybe people need to do the A plus certification. There's probably a fairly good amount of articles about the AI bubble. It's just as I've searched for decent ones, I just come across ones that, how do I put this in a nice way? They're on their knees gurgling. Like you can see like different some news sites, like especially tech ones. There's some of them that have gone down the route of, oh, AI is just good. And like when you read through their points and like their evidence for like some of them are saying, oh, it's not a bubble, guys. And when you look through their evidence, you're like, this is speculation evidence for like what 5 years from now is going to be, not what we currently have. Oh, if Elon popped the AI bubble, that would be hilarious. What about AGI? I think AGI is going to be a phenomenal thing when we get to it, but I don't think LLMs are actually going to get us there. Can AI agents replace junior IT? I'm guessing is the rest of your question. I don't think so. Like it's a tool that can help them do a better job, but I don't think there's any job that can fully be replaced by AI in the current market. Oh my gosh, that's actually a really good court case. Over on Twitch, Maddie is talking about how Elon Musk is taking Sam Altman to court because Sam Altman lied to investors about being a nonprofit and never planned to stay one, apparently. That's that's going to be fun to watch. So does that make Anthropic safe since they are not involved in the overall bubble? No, because companies that they work with and companies that they invest through are part of this bubble. Like it's more so when the bubble pops, all of the investments will kind of go away and those companies will lose a lot of money, including Anthropic will most likely lose a lot of money. Um, and we will see things stop being used as an investment. Oh yeah, Anthropic, from what I've seen, has been a little bit more ethical. It's just they're still wanting investors, and so they're still doing the expansion model that is still harmful. Wow, Canopolis, you have the like you're as articulate as a third grader on your takes. Don't worry, it's just one of the pro AI people sitting there wanting to troll because they don't like anyone disagreeing with them liking AI. I can like AI, and I can also say that there's harmful parts to it. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my thought exactly. If Anthropic are commies, then I'm fully on their side. I might need to change what the title of my stream is. Yeah, pretty much what I do not know how to pronounce your first name, but Rodriguez said, can we say AI has to stop being a trend and then the models would be improving in a natural way? Exactly. Like once it stops being a trend and an investment for big companies, then it's going to be a healthier ecosystem. Anthropic has some cyclical investments. I just don't have it on that chart. I just grabbed the easiest chart for me to find at the time. Um, I have a, let's see, is Anthropic on the chart that this person sent to me? Here, give me a second. Because you're going to see a black screen because I don't have the camera on. But that'll make it so I can move this over and find the chart that someone in my community gave me. Huh, Anthropic isn't in that one either. Yeah, I haven't looked at the investments for Anthropic because honestly, it just depresses me half the time when I have to go over this stuff and have to dig into it even more. Okay, Canopolis, if you're just going to be arguing with people in the comments, I don't need you here. I don't think anyone needs you here at that point. Hedgehog. Oh, I need my keyboard to move that around. Actually, I can use my thumbstick. Woo! That'll be nice. That's going to recover some health for me. It's going to slow that one down to be fairly slow, but still not bad. There are fair arguments to be made that AI and LLMs as a whole are not a bubble. What are those arguments? The reason I point to the circular investments is because that's the majority of the money that those companies are getting. They're not actually getting money from outside sources. Taylor, increased productivity doesn't change if it's a bubble or not. Oh, I think LLMs have fantastic use cases. It's just there's too many corporations and businesses trying to use them as not great use cases. Taylor, are you just listing ways that AI is useful? Because I don't disagree that AI has a use. No, you came into my live stream and you just started listing things, and now you're just like, well, what are your arguments for why it's a bubble? Why not start there? At like this point, I'm just like, yeah, you're not being honest, you're being disingenuous. Oh yeah, Anthropic might be like um protected from the bubble, might not really get affected by the bubble, but it's still a bubble. at the end of the day. Because like the bubble isn't even just the companies that are investing in each other and getting the money from each other. It's how investments have been relating to AI currently. Because a lot of investments have been going to, oh, this company announced that it's going to do something AI. We're going to invest in it now. So when the thing goes up, we're winning. Even though those companies don't end up doing things with AI. It's kind of like a pump and dump, but without them actually thinking of doing it as a pump and dump at the beginning. What am I playing? I am playing Net Attack. And after I get over here to this, I'm going to upgrade my character's loadout. Actually, wait. Okay, make sure that registered. Okay, so what if most normal people don't even have access to invest in these companies? That doesn't change anything about my argument. I'm talking about how big companies and how investment people have been investing in this and how it shows signs of being a bubble. Oh yeah, I remember the Web3 games. And like that's one of the ones that I'm just like that came close to starting to be a bubble. But it fizzled out, like it pretty much deflated. So there's two things that can happen with a bubble. It can deflate or it can pop. Currently, instead of deflating, they've been trying to pump more money into it to keep it going. Because BBK, the reason I say pump and dump isn't because OpenAI and Anthropic. I say pump and dump because of things like this. This is a shoe company that announced it was going to start renting out GPUs. When they announced that, the stock price jumped by 6 times its original stock price that it started that day as. That's why I'm saying pump and dump. I'm not talking about open AI when I'm talking about that part. Okay, Canopolis, think whatever you want. Wow, those were words. Those were words by someone who thinks that they proved it's not a bubble, and I none of what they said disproved any of the stuff I brought up. They tried to prove it using different things instead of refuting any of the things that I said. It's hilarious. And Canopolis said they were leaving and then came back and made another dumb argument that doesn't actually correlate to what I'm saying. Ooh, I don't want this. Maybe I should do this instead of what I was doing. Give me that. Give me that. Let's unlock this one, and then let's go see if I can add more stuff to my guy because I have a lot of money right now. Oh yeah, he didn't just say it; he declared it. I've not read Ed Zitron's writing on AI, but I probably should. Multiple people have sent it to me. But isn't most of what he said about AI about generative AI? Exactly, Maddie. Declared like that. All of whose followers are bots? To who should I pray for the AI bubble to burst faster? Sadly, probably Elon Musk, even though I can't stand that guy, and he really wanted to get on a certain person's island, which is horrifying. And he wanted to go to the wildest party on that island, which that's even more horrifying. Do I remember any of my viewers? Yeah, I remember a lot of my viewers. Is this a game? Yeah. I'm just in the programming menu right now because I wanted to pause. I'm gonna reroll. Yeah, I want another spin packet. Let's do another ping. That should give me at least some more ability. I do remember that name over on Twitch. The name of the game is Net Attack. It's right there. Yeah, it's honestly a really fun game. They sent it over to me for me to play and tell them what I thought, and I have been enjoying the heck out of this one. I've had it for like a couple months now, but I haven't really been regularly streaming until now. And today was not going to be a day to talk about AI. I was going to go back to my normal, let's talk about tech stuff, and people ask me any tech question they want. But literally yesterday, Utah moved forward on its data center that's most likely going to completely ruin the state if the data center actually gets built. If the bubble pops before the data center is actually built, then likely that data center complex will not be built because they want to use 40,000 acres to make a data center campus for AI. Like, that is so ridiculous. Okay, there's no more yellow spots over there. No, I want those coins. Let's get closer to the exit and have these guys spawn over here so I can take them out. Brought to you by Shark Tank. Yeah. No, the fact that it's Mr. Wonderful. Where did he get that name even? Like, where did he get that nickname? Does AMD care more about consumers than Nvidia? Not really. It's just AMD has been less successful in screwing people over and putting out things that no one wants. Ooh, another fast ping. Yes. Let's disconnect that, put that in there. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to do this because I have two on hits right here. And then that one there. It's all China greed. How would it be China greed? You're in a company that is embracing AI. How can you move forward with AI tech, but still be mindful. Just realize that it's not something to replace a person. Realize it's actually like something to assist people more than anything else. It's CEO greed. I don't think it's based off of any specific company. I mean, the US has a major problem where CEOs have a lot more power than they should. So in the US, it's a lot more horrible. Oh, that's another good point. Someone said another way to be more mindful of it is to run it locally. I don't think Nvidia is going anywhere, but I think they're going to probably change after the AI bubble pops. Let's get this one. This one. Any down here? Okay. There's one down here, and then I saw a big one over there. OpenAI is still like maybe before what's his name? Isn't it Sam Altman? Uh Before him it wasn't about greed, but it is very much about greed with him. He is very much someone who is disconnected from humanity in so many ways. Someone said on Threads, I feel like it's increasingly hostile towards traditional devs. Yeah, like I've noticed a lot of people have started being worse about how they look at um, development because they think AI can just replace developers, and they don't realize that in doing so, they're pretty much just creating slop code that is going to be an issue at some point. Because currently, AI code, yeah, it's pretty okay, but it's not something that you shouldn't revise and make better. But there's so many people who are like, oh, yeah, I spent a weekend and I had AI make me this app that does this for me. And I'm like, so you created a backdoor into your phone, is what you're telling me. Because they don't actually know what's in the code and they don't know how to check what's in that code. I think there's going to be a day when learning to be a developer, you go through a lot of training on how to look through code and verify that the code is something that you actually want and it's not harmful to what you want. I think that's coming very soon. Because that's pretty much what you need with AI. You need to be able to verify the code is doing what you want it to do. Human created code is an issue all the time. Yeah, I didn't say that there weren't issues with human created code, but there's more issues with slop code and vibe coding. TikTok, why did you change so that if I have you. Oh, that meeting's going on right now. Okay. I will get the video of it afterwards. Do you have evidence of that? What's the data? It's currently being studied right now because AI code is something that is fairly relatively new. And if you ask people in the industry who run into issues with it, like if my moderator was here who works in the industry, they would tell you they keep running into people who create slop code and don't know what's actually in the code. Like there's lower level devs that keep using vibe coding and then they don't know what's actually in the code. So when they need to fix something or there's some security issue, they don't know how to fix it. Ooh, what else besides vibe coding, Luke? Because I'm not a coder, I don't work in an industry where I run into coding issues often. I have to talk to the other experts that I know. Like, yes, vibe coding can be a great thing for like your little web app to do like a calendar for your family if you don't know how to code. And it's a great way to start learning how to code. But it's not at a point yet where it's safe to just put into production. And too many people are just putting it into production. I mean, heck, did we finally get confirmation that NVIDIA was using vibe coding for some of their drivers? Because it seemed like it for a while. Yeah, that's honestly the main problem, Yuri, is companies have invested a ton and want immediate returns. Yeah. Um, it's one of the worries that I had when Amazon bought MGM because I like a lot of MGM properties. And usually when a company like does something like that, they usually want to just offload as much stuff as possible, as quick as possible, so that they can get back their investment. And that ends up bad for a lot of people. The main issue I have with AI right now is the investment mentality that is being used with it instead of the actual like environmental and conscientious mindset of we want to use this thing but we need to make it better before we really can use it. Oh, that is going on here. Let's see. No, I need to put it deeper than that. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna make these go off twice each. um Actually, if I put another optimize in there, that'll be nice. Actually, I need the optimize to be, how deep does this go? This goes next to children. That'd be that one and that one. Okay, I'll put the optimize here. And I want to check chat, but need to get that in place and organize. Okay. Yeah. No, there's great uses for AI, especially in the medical field. It's just that there's horrible downsides of so many others. I real I miss block coding. I used to do it a lot because my first like foray into robotics was Lego Mindstorms and it used block coding. And then I used things like LabVIEW while I was in college. Like I love some good block coding. Visual code is so nice and like scratches that part in my brain that I like, the ASMR type part. me sit on this spot for a minute. What's my opinion on local LLMs? I don't really have an opinion on them. Maddie, my first language that I ever learned when I was in school for coding was Scheme. You should go look at Scheme and feel my pain. Oh yeah, I love the videos of people going to the Taco Bells where AI is like used for taking orders and how badly it's going. Like maybe if they had better audio systems for drive-throughs, it might go a little bit better, but at the same time, I doubt it because AI will still always have glitches at some point. Someone mentioned me not wanting to answer their questions. I just don't see every question because for one thing, I'm playing a game and so I have to pause to go look at chat. And then for another thing, there's so many like notifications on the chat stream that things get pushed off of chat very easily. Greed isn't the only thing that we can use to make technology advance. Social good is another way we can make technology advance. We have in the past. Social endeavors like space travel are a very good thing to look at for a non-greed based version of how we can do things. Yeah, Star Trek is a brilliant example of how like that mentality, like what that mentality is. It's not like documentary on how that mentality works 100% of the time, but yeah. Ooh, you want to DM me an email you sent to the CEO of ChatGPT? Yeah, send it over. You can also email it to me. My email's in my bio. Yeah, greed actually holds a lot of technology back because when you're focused on making money, you're not necessarily focused on innovating. Like your main drive for innovation in a greed market is you want to make more money. So you don't want to innovate too much because you want to have like you're not going to jump from version 1 to version 10. You're going to want the incremental. We're going to sell you version 0, version 1, version 2, version 3. Like yeah, I don't think people realize like the difference in thought process behind greed and actual like empathy and actually wanting to make the world a better place. Okay, I might have to use that line on my partner because that would be funny. Let me just message my partner really quick. Let's see if they reply soon enough. Yeah, that chill it says exactly the problem that I'm seeing a lot of other people talk about, where junior level technicians are not checking what they're actually implementing. And like even today, I literally just saw someone unironically holding up their phone, talking to an AI agent, asking it if things were true or not realizing that the AI agent will usually agree with you on things, even if it's false. Like current AI agents are designed to agree with the user to make the user want to use them more and to give them the happy brain chemicals. Player speed up. Yes. Now hit the exit. Yeah, it's a digital yes man. Oh yeah, crypto is a Ponzi scheme. Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. It's a collective effort of a society to make things better for people. I don't know where I want to put this. Maybe here? Yeah, put it there. Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. And Social Security is not theft. Oh my God, why is this conversation now going to that route? Most chatbots are designed to be yes men. Like most chatbots marketed to people, like where it's designed for you to have a conversation with, is it's designed to give you happy chemicals by being a yes man. Like chatbots on a website for a company to answer your questions, not really a yes man. Okay, I'm just timing you out, dude. I'm You decided to get on such a weird other topic. I'm not dealing with it in my chat. I'm not breaking down how Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. I'm not listening to an Elon fanboy. If you like a fucking pedophile, then you can get the fuck out of my chat. Oh yeah, no, I did a video where I talk about how scared I am for the next 2 decades of technology because of how many people have put bad code into their systems because they're not actually looking at what the code does. Drew, I'm talking about the main. I'm not talking about self-hosted, the one that you made in your garage to do this. I'm literally talking about the main ones that people talk about. I can't put an entire paragraph explaining that I mean the main companies that everyone knows about. I'm meaning the general thing. If I pick up a box and I say this is a Kleenex box, you're not going to go, well, I have my own facial tissues at home that actually are more better than those ones, and we should be using those. You shouldn't be talking about Kleenex. You should be talking about my homebrew one that I get it. There's thousands of models out there. When I say normal chatbots, I mean the ones that people are renting so that they can actually have human connection, despite the fact that it doesn't give them human connection. God damn. Ooh, apparently the storm might be moving. My ears just popped. I look forward to reading it and seeing how it is. Yeah, but DeepSeek. I love DeepSeek. That one was a fun one to tinker with when it first came out. Um, because it was really cool. Like it was one of the first ones. I don't know if it was actually the first one, but it was one of the first ones to like have multiple AI chatbots talk to each other to better build out a response. And like, it's really impressive from like a technical perspective. But at the same time, the US is not going with that model of how China has been doing things. The US has been going with move fast and break shit because, yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad way to do things. Especially when you're literally breaking society sometimes. What game is this? This is Net Attack. The banner's down there for anyone interested. It's a fantastic game. They sent it over to me for free so I could play it and play it on stream. Tell you guys what I think. Um, and I've been loving this game. They sent it to me like 2 months ago. I played it for a little bit. I was gonna do a video on it, but I just didn't have time. I never said AI is not inevitable. I never said that AI is going away. It being a bubble doesn't mean that AI goes away. The .com bubble was a bubble. And I'm currently streaming on TikTok.com, YouTube.com, and Twitch TV. That one doesn't help the argument, though. Trying to get my character to heal up a little bit more. Holy cow. Before I go try to take on that big bad. Let's get better luck. Any comments regarding media shaming data centers and AI power consumption when they are confusing terminology? What do you mean? The power consumption isn't the main thing I talk about when I talk about the harm of AI data centers, even though the power consumption is a massive harm. Like in Utah, how Utah's power consumption is going to be going up 3 times because of an AI data center that is being pushed through with countless people saying we don't want it, and the legislature just going, we don't care what the constituents want. Well, one of the problems that we have is there's honestly a major difference between normal data centers and AI data centers. Most normal data centers aren't packed to the brim with GPUs that are causing excess heat. Most data centers can reliably cool themselves decently without causing a lot of heat damage to the area around them. But AI data centers make up so much more heat because of what they're doing that it causes damage to the area around them, increasing the temperature around the data center. I have no opinion on local LLMs. Yeah, no, the one that like the main reason that I'm not doing normal tech advice today is just because Utah passed, or the county in Utah where the 40,000 acre data center campus is going to be built got approved by the county. And yeah, that's just utterly horrifying. Even though there were countless scientists telling them, hey, this is not a good idea. They're just like, well, we have this panel of a bunch of congressmen who told us it's okay. And you scientists are wrong because they know more than you. And I'm just like, that is such a bad sign. Like it literally felt like the plot of an old movie. A rich guy goes to a backwater town and meets the like city council that is really like made up of a bunch of people who aren't that smart and probably have cousins that married in their family tree and convince them of some con to earn the billionaire more money. Like that's literally what it feels like. Hey, got rid of them. Yes. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit to see if there's anything major I missed. Oh yeah, Mario. The part prices right now. I'm currently working on two quotes for customers, and the SSD for each of their systems. About 6 months ago, I was paying $50 for the SSD. It's going to be over $100. I was going to recommend they go with a terabyte, but that's $200. Yeah, and like a lot of people have been talking about the power issue and saying that um, these data centers are oh crap, freaking YouTube like not automatically having my stream public. I completely forgot to check that until just now. I'm just like, I know a couple people were going to be watching me on YouTube, so why are they not there? Um, like they talk about how the data centers are going to use on-site power generation, and okay, that power generation is going to need water, correct? And isn't that also going to cause more heat for the local area? And when we've looked at data centers that have had on-site power generation, the wastewater coming off of them has been black in some cases. Like, I don't understand how people are just so. It's not that they're ignorant to it, like, they know and they can see what's going on, but they just don't care. And I don't know. I like, as someone who lives on this planet, maybe I have a difference of opinion from the people who apparently don't because they feel like it should burn. But we should be not just doing massive amounts of damage. Okay, that sounds like fun, but not what I'm looking for. Yeah, no, I was actually this year was going to be when I started investing in more drives to store my stuff. And I'm not going to be investing in hard drives this year. You're spending more power on this stream than most people use on AI. Yeah, if we take the average user, you realize there's people who don't use AI at all. So, yeah, of course, my controller uses more power than is used on average by people with AI because there's people who don't use it at all. Technically, my power calculations would be a little bit off because I use a two computer setup. So, okay, the average of people who actually use AI still would probably be AI using more than this stream is. Because a lot of people, when they do that power calculation, they're only looking at how much sending the prompt to the AI and the AI responding uses in power. They ignore the fact that there is massive amounts of power dedicated to the AI training. They tend to try to cherry pick parts of the information so that it looks better than it actually is. Logan, I run my own business. How would I have gotten fired because AI replaced my job? I like how you try to dismiss my opinion instead of asking what my actual opinion is, too. I think that's always my favorite thing. Oh, yeah. Please even mention AI is a great way to learn coding. Like, yeah, I don't disagree with that. It's one of the things I recommend if someone actually wants to learn how to code. One of the issues, though, is some people like do the ADHD model of this is my new hobby for a week, and then they don't keep up with it. And then they go, okay, I'll just have the AI code for me. And that's where it starts to get to be problems. Because we do not need more slop code in this world. Why am I called the bearded guy? I'm called the bearded IT guy. Because for most of my career, I have lived in an area where IT guys were not allowed to have beards. Most people who worked in office jobs were not allowed to have beards. Until I got out of my career, it started changing. Bob, I didn't say that modern AI can't write clean and elegant code. They don't always. And they don't always have the context for the rest of the code. So they can put in things that are exploits, they can put in bugs, they can make security breaches, everything down the list. If someone is using AI to help them code and they're actually going over that code and verifying that it's going to work in the way they intend, that's fantastic. I'm not trolling with the title. Oh yeah, there's also quite a bit of coding that AI will just make up, and it might work for one run, but then the moment you add any other code, it doesn't work because it's not actually doing what you wanted. Honestly, the thing I was just so one of my favorite streams to watch like almost every day whenever he does it There's a debate streamer I like watching, and I called into it today to see his take on the AI stuff. And like in the chat, we got onto the topic of coding and things like that. And I said, I'm honestly looking forward to the future with AI helping people code without replacing people coding, because it'll mean coding is more accessible for people, and that'll actually get people back into it. Kind of like back in the MySpace days where like a decent amount of people knew how to code the website and put things into the website that they wanted. That's what I want to get back. That's what I hope for. But at the same time, the downside is too annoying. The amount of people who just put slop code in without actually checking it. Meyer K, I keep seeing your comments about world models. That's not the current model of AI. I haven't looked into it deep enough, and it doesn't relate to what I'm actually talking about here. Like, yes, it sounds like a cool thing, but I don't know enough about it, and it's not what currently is going on in the mainstream. Like, the only reason I'm mentioning it is because you've repeated yourself like 15 times now. Oh my gosh. So Copilot is going to start charging people to use like the AI? Okay. Jeffrey says, I build systems that fully replace developers. It's never going back to human development. Okay. That'll be really sucky for a lot of companies that suddenly lose their databases because the AI decided to delete the database to fix the issue and all of the backups, and then started deleting itself when confronted. That's an actual thing that happened. I genuinely don't trust people that trust AI so much. And I can literally show the reason why I genuinely have the thought that we shouldn't trust people who trust AI too much. I can pull up the MIT study. Like, yes, AI has fantastic uses, but at the same time, there's so many people who are like, yeah, I'm going to use AI for everything. I'm like, yeah, you're melting your brain. See if I can get all the nodes before. This is what hacking looks like, guys. This is what's going on in a computer when it's getting hacked. In case you didn't know. You need a big red button that disables Copilot. Just tie it into the firewall. Jeffrey, so I'll give you a hint. Let's see if you can figure out why I wouldn't let you up onto the stream based off of the hint on the screen. No one tell Jeffrey why I'm not going to let Jeffrey up. Jeffrey, can you explain to me why I won't let you up onto the stream? Oh yeah, AI slop, like generative AI is really destructive. I don't trust anything that Meta starts putting money into. They do not have a good track record for what technology they invest in. There we go. No, we're not talking about NPCs or game routing or anything like that. That's why I specify LLMs. I stream to multiple sites at the same time. TikTok is just one of them. And also considering how many AI bros have tried to get my streams taken down, I would rather not let someone up who can just suddenly start screaming slurs at the top of their lung to get me taken down. If there's something you want to specify, you can specify it in the comments. If there's not enough characters on TikTok, then you can go over to the other two platforms I mentioned. Yeah, Twitch has a 500 character limit. If you cannot summarize why my points are wrong in 500 characters, then letting you up would just be a lot of filler words from you trying to explain how I'm wrong about things and probably not citing any sources. I think that's the thing that frustrates me the most is the amount of AI bros who have no sources on things, but then have like the mentality that they're right. I'm like, you don't care about the facts. You care about your feelings, and then you try to shift facts to fit your feelings. That's not how any of this should work. But it does kind of make sense for AI bros to be that mentality, honestly. Like that sounds like the AI bro mentality on such a narcissistic level. How am I going to cite sources with 500 words? So most sources would be like a headline or a study title. And I don't think, like, for one thing, it's a 500 character limit. But at the same time, do you not know that a headline usually isn't more than 500 characters? Okay, good. You're joking. That makes me. I have talked to so many people that have been so serious about stuff like that lately that I'm just like, I'm losing so much faith in humanity at this point. How can you judge something you don't know? What don't I know specifically that would change any of the stuff that I'm mentioning here, Jeffrey? I've run multiple local AI models. I've used AI for multiple years now. I was even one of the spokespeople for one of the big AIs, which I still think that AI is useful. I just think we need to move to a more conscientious version of how we roll things out. I don't think you know what my take is. I think you're making up a person in your head that you're debating, and you're thinking, oh, well, I can't debate you using the 500 character limit because I made up a fake person who won't listen to me because of X, Y, and Z. I also like this game because for the most part you can play it like just like this, like very casually. It's also why I like Vampire Survivor. It feels like a very fun little casual game that I can waste so much time on. Jeffrey, what am I wrong about? What about my takes am I wrong, or what about my takes do you not understand? AI is harmful to my GPU. True. And also to buying a new GPU. Let's be honest. Did I create this game? No. This game was created by really awesome developers. I really like this. I like games that get you to code, and this one using visual code. Oh, it makes me so happy. We need to have more uses for like visual code. I just like block coding too much. My computer only has 32 gigabytes of RAM right now. Off topic, do you need to know how to code to play this game? Not really. No, like that's one of the things I like about block coding is it's brought down to such a simple level where like you can just tell what this is doing. Like when you start this game, you only have 2 blocks really. And it already has attached them. So you can see that it's saying do this and then do this. Like you can see how it works. And that's why I like block coding. Yeah, no, my computer I need to fully upgrade my computer because it also has some other issues where when doing video stuff, it just my computer will fully lock up doing video processing. If I'm like watching a video while also like playing a game or rendering a video, it's terrible. I can't video edit and listen to something at the same time. Moses, I didn't say there's not good things to AI. I'm saying these are the major harmful points of AI and the things that should be corrected. Okay, Jeffrey, when did I ever say anything different than what you just said? I would probably dispute the 100 times more productive because that's being hyperbolic. Let's be honest. Yeah, lunar, like that's exactly my point. Oh no, Jeffrey, you've been called out as an AI agent. Okay, if you're just going to be hyperbolic and BS in my comments, I'm not going to bother. Like, I was literally sitting here waiting for your responses and going to have a conversation back and forth with you, but you're just being hyperbolic and dumb now. So, yeah. I'm looking up MCPs right now, and it just seems like it's going to go so wrong so fast because of people not doing things properly or taking things slow. No, I haven't seen the Anthropic Google deal. Holy cow. I'm stuck in a corner here. I want to get out. And put myself back in the corner. Because of all that experience. No, no. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, this is very exciting. Okay. I just got something from a company I like. Jeffrey, You're still not answering the question. What about my points is incorrect? Like, you keep stating the uses for it. Like, that changes what's on the screen. Do you understand that things can be useful and harmful at the same time? Let's start there. Just answer that. Do you think things can be useful and harmful at the same time? Well, I carefully open this. Holy cow, they sent me so many. Oh my gosh. I am going to be covering one of my laptops in these. Specifically, this one is getting at least one or two. So I just got sent because they were at a convention and they had a bunch of stickers left over and they asked me if I wanted some. And I said yes. Because, oh my gosh, I love this company. And so I have Malwarebytes stickers. That is so cool. Okay, I gotta see what ones can actually fit on this tablet. I fit one of these. No, but I can fit one of these. One of these can fit right there. How does the malware taste? Ah, like vinyl. Harmful if you use it in a negative way. No, just it working itself is a negative because of how the US goes about building its data centers and has been so headstrong in pushing for AI. There we go. Another sticker has entered the chat. I'm probably going to need to do a video thanking them in a little while about that because that's awesome. Oh, that's a horrifying thought that someone over on TikTok just put. Oh, I need to do a sticker tour. I need to pull out my computers that have my stickers on them and show off my stickers. Jeffrey, you're still not answering the question. Can something be useful and harmful at the same time? This is your final chance. Also, I really like this. So, like, I like that the envelope is blue, but on the inside, it literally, like, they wrote enjoy. That makes me so happy. Oh, I'm definitely doing a video of this tonight. Hi, in your opinion, will AI agent replace programmers or become a tool for programmers? It always should be a tool for programmers. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the Pax Silica thing. And that I'm exhausted. Let's put it that way. I was taking damage. Let me out. They want me Lucky Charms. I can have them. How's it going over on YouTube? FYI for anyone watching. So over on YouTube and TikTok, you can see the Twitch and YouTube chats just faintly there. And then on Twitch, you can also see the chat right above me. That is TikTok chat. I think it might be all combined. Can't remember if I did go through with having it all combined. Yeah, it is. Okay. Because Twitch is the one I currently get my video from after the fact. It's going to be YouTube very soon. I'm just waiting for them to send me the thing to do both horizontal and vertical at the same time. Holy cow, I actually beat the level. I thought I was done for. I was doing so bad. I'm gonna up my collector range. I'm gonna up rerolls. That's what I really want. I want the time reduction and the collector range. Let's go with those for now. I don't have any objections to people running LLMs. I don't have objections to most uses of AI. Thank you so much for hopping into the YouTube chat. Good to see you over there. What justifies my claim? Which part of my claim? Sorry. Might need to go refill my water bottle and grab a cup of coffee in a minute. I'm all out of energy drinks. Yeah, that was a fun call. I was glad to get that on Jovan's radar and get his opinion on that. I also was just talking about the conversation in the chat from Jovan's stream. I'm probably going to go see if I can grab the video from his VOD channel later and see if I can message him for permission to use it in any way. Because he made very good points. AI are harmful. Okay. Yeah, I can go over that one. Pull up this menu. So AI is harmful on multiple different factors. We're going to look at that one in just a moment. So for one thing, AI is causing the heat levels around the data centers to go up, and pretty severely. I would love to sit down and do the math. I should probably sit down and do the math, seeing what the projected heat increase due to the 40,000 acre data center campus in Utah is going to be. But yeah, the heat going up is pretty bad. Then we also have, oh, this one's about the heat as well. Let's see. There we go. This one is about the noise pollution that the AI data center trend is doing to communities where the AI data centers are being built. So this is actually making it so some people can't sleep in their own homes that they already had because AI moved in and caused it so that their house is less valuable now because there's a giant whirring sound nearby. And if you didn't know, sound can act very weird, especially when it's big systems like this. I lived near a power plant, and for the longest time, the sound from that power plant didn't disrupt anyone who was within a block of it and didn't disrupt anyone who was 3 blocks away from it. But if you were in that 1 block away to 3 blocks away range, you literally couldn't hear anything. Let's see. No, that one's about all of that one. And then if we go over here, we can actually see the harm that it actually does to people who use it. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that it harms the people who actually use large language models and AI currently, but we're actually seeing people who have been offloading their thought process to AI. They're not able to think as easily. I want to say, let's see, this is an ongoing study, especially because AI changes constantly. Where is the actual percentage? I know it's in here and it quotes the study. Yeah. So the group that was using ChatGPT showed noticeable less brain activity. It was reduced by 55%. I feel like that's harm. Currently, how the US is doing AI is more harmful than good, in my opinion. Blackie, that doesn't change what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm pointing out where the different harms are. And yes, there are ways to mitigate the harm, but that's my entire point. We need to be mitigating the harm instead of just ignoring it. What we currently call AI is not going to really drastically speed up our technological advancement, because a lot of people are calling this AI when it's not really what we consider AI. Once we actually get to a point where we have AI, then it's going to be phenomenal. But large language models and the current AI models that we're using are not really going to get us there. Yeah, as someone just said, AI that we currently have is mostly a prediction model. It's just predicting what the next word in a sentence should be. I need to rewatch Inglorious Bastards. Just remember, if you're ever in Germany in the 1940s, you hold up three fingers like this, not like this. This. There we go. Not like this. This is the American way, where this is the German way. AI isn't bad, it's just in its makeover phase. No. With how the US is doing AI, they are making it so this is the way that AI is done. Why do you want to know what mythos is, do you guys? Yes, I know what mythos is. What does that have to do with this? Someone just said, in the end, the harm will be done, and there really is no way to stop it, similar to what calculators did. No, we can mitigate the harm because this isn't the only harm. I even went over the other parts of the harm. Like, and the US is the main one that has these issues. Other countries don't have these issues and have been researching and working with AI, including China. China has been going about it from a better methodology. What's my job title? Owner and operator. Or do you want my other one? Network administrator, system admin. Which of my titles do you want? Do you want me to go down the entire list? Director of IT, IT manager, lead code engineer. Granted, that was like decades ago at this point. I need to go get tacos today. Can you explain how to set up Hyper-V clustering? I mean, it would probably take me about 30 minutes to explain it and pull up my Hyper-V server to show you how to do it, but I've done it before between multiple buildings. What is with this? If you don't have these qualifications, you're not qualified to say this stuff. Is that what you're going for? I mean, any locally run language model is pretty good. Like, I don't have any issue with it. Most of what I have an issue with is how most of the main AI things have been done in the US right now. No, LLM does not stand for local language model. It stands for large language model. Most unlikable IT guy, as I have a bunch of viewers and people asking me questions and chatting. Yeah, okay. Thoughts on tokenization costs? I mean, it's far below what they need to be charging for them to actually make money. How would I mitigate the damage that is spreading in America only? I would have better restrictions on the data centers that are being created. I would not be pushing data centers like this one, the massive 40-acre data center complex or campus. The way we have been building out data centers so quickly and so recklessly is part of the main issue. Yeah, we don't have the energy for them and we don't have the water or the temperature for them because data centers have been raising the temperature around them more than normal data centers because AI data centers are generating more heat. Yeah, data centers in space is not a good idea. I like how the one person who was asking me like my job title and like my qualifications and everything just went away. I guess he didn't like that I actually have qualifications. Yeah, LLMs are a dead end, but people think it's going to give us general artificial intelligence or artificial general intelligence. I'm condescending, and you hopped into my stream to ask me what my credentials were for me to be able to say these things. Really? You're calling me condescending after that? Okay. Oh yeah, I fully expect trolls, and I will play with my food because it's fun. It was a question. Block me now. Why would I block you? I'm not gonna block you, but someone's gonna mute you for a second because they're frustrated with you. I'm not gonna call them out for doing it, but that was funny to watch. I'm just like, oh, why'd they mute? Oh, they unmuted them. Oh, that's weird. Okay. And then my other moderators like, I'm ignoring the chat. Fair. Yeah, especially when I do these streams, I don't care. I give you guys the power to have fun if you want it, and if you have like someone in the chat that is ignoring what you're saying and being an ass, you can do what you want at that point. Pastrami, what exactly is incorrect about any of the things that I have on the screen? Now that you know I have qualifications for it, what are the issues with what I'm saying? Counting LLMs, how many different systems are there to obtain AI? LLMs are not a way to obtain AI. LLMs are trained using AI methods, but they're not an AI. They're just marketed as one. Are Raspberry Pis overpriced at the current moment? I don't know what the price is of them right now. We're on the 5 right now, right? I mean, from some places they're definitely overpriced, but yeah, Micro Center is selling Raspberry Pi 5s for $40. I don't think they're overpriced. I think some places are selling them for way more than they're worth. Like anything under $80 for a Raspberry Pi is a fairly good price. What do you mean developers need to adapt? Oh yeah, I just saw one on Amazon for $150. Okay, Blake, where did here is my take right here. You can read my take on the screen. Where is the part of my take that says that AI is useless and it doesn't give value to people on the end? Oh, you're someone who thinks that everyone should be pushing AI into all of their stuff, aren't you, yo? Yow, yo, whatever. Not every developer needs to use AI for what they do. There's some that benefit that and there's some that don't. And you're one of the people who most likely falls under this study. If you want, I can even bring up the quote. because the people who are offloading their thought processes onto AI are not actually learning. They're actually losing brain power. Like, yes, you can build it back up, but it still takes work. Disagree that it's a bubble. Okay, the reason that I think it's a bubble is things like this. Nope, that's not the bubble tab. This is the bubble tab. This one. Notice that stock price, how it suddenly jumps up drastically? This is a shoe company. And this shoe company announced that they would start renting out GPUs as soon as their board agreed to let them change a bunch of stuff with their company. They were going to start renting out GPUs for people to use for AI. That's literally the definition of a bubble. When investments are way overvalued and do not actually bring in enough to justify it. I think you need to go learn what a bubble is. But the primary players aren't even publicly traded. I'm not saying that they would be publicly traded or would be an example of this exact thing right here. The big companies are just trading amongst themselves and not actually bringing in outside revenue. OpenAI is projected to be out of money by the end of this year because they're not making a profit. Okay, I love the people who jump into the live and they're just like, "Hey, I'm gonna disprove you," and then when I refute their points, they're like, "Well, I just gotta, I just need to leave. I need to go." Like, seriously, it shows that you didn't have confidence in what you're saying. Back up what you're actually saying instead of just saying you disagree. It's so dumb every time. Oh yeah, meta itself is just crashing. Wow, that was really bright. I forgot I had it on the super high setting. This is the low setting. I think I could probably point this at the camera. Yeah. Oh, I could film with this on and it wouldn't be that bad. I don't think at any point LLMs and AI are going to fail, but the bubble will most likely pop. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Download all the models now. You can run them local. Okay, what does that change about any of that? All of that right there. I don't have a problem with anything that's local and self-hosted. Still, the way that it's being trained is harmful to the environment and the neighborhoods around the data centers. There is no bubble, but hey, time will tell. So you weren't listening to the past like 15 minutes of this stream. Good to know. I need a new sit stand desk. I need one that I can stand up at. So bad. I think that might be one of the first things I try to get my manager to work on for me. I already have a walking pad. I use it frequently. I was going to use it today, but it is a rainy day, and so my body hates me. Yeah, I was literally replying to you, and then I replied to another person who was talking about the bubble. You were in the live stream when I was just recently talking about the bubble. What's my thoughts on cloud security? I don't really have any. I I mean, it's constantly there's constantly cloud services that are getting hacked. So yeah, I kind of figured you were going to run Yao like the moment you get pushback. on something that I can factually show. It always worries me when someone talks about being a developer and using AI every single day. That worries me more about the future of the code that is going to be in things. Okay, I want to know more about that. Kukuro? Is that how you pronounce your name? Yeah, tell me more. So yeah, no, like there's future work for developers who are willing to go through crap code and fix it. There's so much work going to be for that. I'm not worrying about any of your comments, Yao, because you aren't actually replying to me. You're just replying to your own self at this point. Okay, that's the perfect use for AI right now. Having it take the minutes during stand-up meetings. Yeah, I tried to literally respond to you and then you ignored me. I started talking about how it's a bubble because I'm not going to change your mind on it being what you think as a critical tool for developers that have to use it at all times or else they're going to lose their jobs. Like, I'm never going to change your mind on that. But you mentioned the bubble, and so I started talking about the bubble with you, and you ignored it and went back to coding. Yeah, you can ask random IT questions. Brain, that's my entire fucking point. If AI code is not reviewed by humans, it becomes slop code. It becomes issues for people. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna mute you because you're not listening to me. Like, straight up. I literally said, I'm not going to be able to change your mind on that thing. And you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to continue debating that specific thing. Like, fuck off. Okay, I'm going back to my game now because the stupid people are being more stupid. Brain, I'm literally saying that. Holy fucking hell, dude. I agree with you on that. You don't know my opinion, but you're creating a new one based off of this that doesn't relate. Because nowhere in this fucking thing do I have anything that says AI code is terrible and should never be used. I don't have anything that says AI is bad and should never be used. You're extrapolating things that I don't say, and then you debate those and take it as my opinion. It's exhausting. Good fucking hell, people. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, let's upgrade the damage. Yeah, but AI is useful. Yeah, like that's my favorite argument every single time. Well, it's super useful, so you shouldn't have any of these opinions on the screen. Oh yeah, there's a lot of the crappy AI propaganda out there, like saying that AI is sentient when it's literally just large language models that are good at pretending to be a human. My favorite one is the story about the large language model that blackmailed its engineer to not turn it off. And like when you look at that story and you break it down, it literally sounds like a Reddit story. And I'm just like, oh, they trained this bullshit on Reddit, didn't they? Like, there was a chunk of it that was trained on Reddit. Probably wasn't the entirety of what it was trained on, but there was enough of it that it came up with a Reddit story and used it as how it acts. I genuinely wonder if that's part of the process that they've been doing, is trying to find things like Reddit that can give the large language models personality so that they seem more human and they can make it seem more real. Also, did Brain just run away after I called him out for making up an argument that I never made? Because that's the thing. Every time I've done a stream like this, is people will be like, "Oh, well, you said these three things. It used to just be two. Um, but you say these things. That must mean you mean all of this." I'm like, no. Let's see. Spin packet, ping. Let's do more fast pings. I want more things that will. I want double pings. Yeah, you can keep saying that over and over, yeah, but it's the same thing I heard about NFTs, blockchain, Web3, 3D TVs. What were the other fads that like are still technically around but not really used that much? What's the easiest route for building a Hackintosh? VirtualBox. Do a virtual machine. Oh, where was that set, Phantom Killer? Oh, that's a horrifying article headline. And it's the New York Times, so it is trying to make me do a subscription. Fine, I'll log in and have my email. Brain, what exactly are the contradictions that you think I said? Because I can pretty much guarantee it's not that I said a contradiction, it's that you created an argument in your mind and you're now taking that as a contradiction. No, I don't want a fucking subscription to your stupid fucking magazine, New York Times. Just want to read the article. Like, I wouldn't mind if it's filled with ads. It's going to be better. Yeah, no, an archive of the site is the best way it did it. Yeah, I never said that AI couldn't write good code. I said that there is a lot of slop code that people don't actually understand being implemented because they've been using AI to code for them. They don't actually understand what is in the code and they can't verify the code because they don't understand the code. That's my fucking point, instead of whatever make believe thing you have in your head about it. I'm also seeing a New York Times article about the headline. When did this come out? Oh, this came out like days ago. Silicon Valley is bracing for a permanent underclass. I don't think we should stop fully relying on AI. Like, I think we should still have AI in some form. It's just we need to be more conscientious about how we use it and how we build out the stuff to make it work. Oh, floating data center. That the thing that they're not realizing with data centers in the ocean or floating, like, yes, Microsoft's test of an underwater data center, fantastic. And the way they were using it, fantastic. AI data centers in water is going to increase the temperature of that water. And it's going to be an ecological disaster for that area. Yeah, medical use for AI is a fantastic thing. Like, the fact that AI can spot cancer long before a doctor can, it's a fantastic tool for doctors to use. I want the hedgehog. Give me a hedgehog. Hedgehog. I think I could get both of these. Actually, I can just do this. That should make it 100%. I think. Like, it makes the one thing a little bit useless, but I think that'll work. Okay, I don't know how to spell your stupid fucking name on Twitch. Nemel? Nemel? Whatever. Okay, show me actual fucking evidence instead of just, oh, they're not heating up the surrounding area that much. Show me the actual evidence. Oh, it's going to be that stupid dude's blog post, isn't it? Random dude on internet blog post, right? Because someone sent me a blog post from some dude who said that that study was bunk. And when you look into that dude, he's just a reporter who tends to be in favor of like right wing ideology and things like that. Is it that same dude? I've already read that one. He started out his entire article by, you read the study and the study is bunk. Okay, what specifically in the study is bunk? Name the section and what it says that you think is bunk. Brain, that's not the only reason that AI is bad. Good fucking God, dude. If you just want an out, take an out. You don't have to be here. And I'm not talking about impact on the climate. I'm talking about impact on the citizens who live near the fucking data center who are now dealing with higher temperatures. Like fucking humans. But no, Brain's one of those people who are just like, yeah, no, fuck all other humans. No other humans matter except for me because I'm the only human that matters. No, that's the reason his username is Brain, because it's not in his head. I'm not quoting the article. Nemel, when did I say that the article Yeah, that Nemel. Challenge you right now. This video is on YouTube right now. You can scroll through it. If you send me a video of the timestamp where I say that the study says that it is measuring air temperature, I'll pay you $50. But I know I didn't say that. I said the air temperature in the city is getting warmer, which, yes, is another effect. Fucking hell, people making up BS stuff. What am I fear-mongering, brain? Oh, Zoe muted you. Okay, problem solved. No, the air temperature is getting warmer. The study just didn't measure the direct air temperature to get its numbers. Oh my God, it's always the dumbest fucking people. Well, if the study didn't measure the air temperature, then the air temperature isn't rising, even though the ground temperature is rising. Because Nemel, do you actually need to have radiated heating explained to you? Yeah, you're not actually listening to what I fucking say. You're just, and this is also why I don't want to let anyone up, because it's just going to be more of this. Not listening to the stuff I say and just rambling on their own point for an hour. Yeah, Nemel, if you don't actually engage with what I say, why should I give you my platform? Nemel, what was the last thing I actually said to you? I had an actual question for you. It was a mocking question, but it was an actual question. Dill, what part of my opinion is terrible? What part of my opinion is wrong? Okay. So why are you not actually engaging with me? Because you started talking about steel mills and pushing on steel mills. Guess what? Steel mills aren't active 24/7, for one thing. And also don't constantly generate heat. They only generate heat when the stuff is actually radiating out into the air. Yeah, I know what you're fucking talking about. Good fucking Nope, I'm done. I'm done with Nemel over on Twitch. I don't give a shit. Okay, what was the person? Oh, Dill didn't even explain what they meant. Okay. No, I'm just not. Dude, you literally put like 5 different comments when I tried to reply to one. And so you're literally gish galloping. And then when I try to actually break things down for you, you don't actually listen. You move on to steel mills. Because you think that's a good, valid point. And I even asked you what part of the study is incorrect. What is wrong with their methodology? The only thing you brought up is the fact that they measured the ground temperature. The ground temperature is going to be the thing that they usually will measure for something like this because it's more reliable than the air temperature. Trying to measure the temperature of the air is pretty freaking annoying to do. If you've ever actually tried to do it, it's really freaking annoying. Having something measure the ground temperature is more reliable if you actually want to get statistics and actually see change over time. That's why we usually measure the temperature of water. It's usually the most reliable version instead of air temperature or land temperature. Do you want me to keep going? Do you want to actually engage in a conversation, or do you want to go ahead and gish gallop and run around more? Most sensors that will measure air temperature are less reliable than ones that can actually make contact with a solid or a liquid. Technically, the way they make contact with a solid is usually like what are those things called? Laser temperature gauges. I have one right over there. Things like that. That's usually how ground temperature is going to be tracked, but it's going to be more accurate than air temperature, just because of how annoying air is, honestly. Oh no, I don't like banning people, and honestly, I'm not frustrated. Well, I'm frustrated because I'm disappointed in how dumb people are, but I'm not mad. Um, no, a lot of the stuff when I was studying robotics engineering was how to get reliable sensor information, and that goes into the same thing for doing these studies. That's why it is honestly just dumbfounding when people don't understand things and then they go confidently into them. Like Nemel or whatever his name is over on Twitch. Yeah, Zoe. Exactly. I usually, the most I'll do is I'll mute someone for like a minute. Which software do I use for what type of simulation? How are LLMs harmful? Um, do you want the harm to the people around them or around the data centers that they operate, or do you want the harm directly onto the people that use them? Because I have both. Oh no, the graph. Let me bring it back up. Let me give you all trauma. Harm to people. Okay, harm directly to people. Well, for one thing, the heat and the noise harm is directly harmful to the people around the data centers, just FYI. But this is the main harm to people who actually use LLMs. Cognitive decline. It's an active study that is continuing currently. Yeah, people who use LLMs are having cognitive decline, which we also saw with things like calculators. Like people could not do math calculations in their head as easily because they started using calculators. But this is replacing like most thought processes for some people. Oh, you want to do object detection using Raspberry Pi? I don't. What was the one I used last? I cannot remember. I don't have one that I recommend. I just try some every so often when I'm bored. Yeah, no, like that's one of the main issues. Like, not my dog. If you watch the chat, there's some that are still very coherent and like very rational and actually listening and things like that. It's usually the ones who are just like, you need to use AI every day. I use an AI chatbot to go over all of my thought process, and it actually tells me how to think about things. And you can tell because they legitimately can't think. Almighty Fushi. I never said that the technology is not useful. That is not any of the points that I have here. And LLMs can't crack a bunch of disciplines because they're not actually AI. Large language models are just a predictive text algorithm. Yeah, Vapor. That's one of the things. I want to see more studies on it because OpenAI released their study on it and it did not look good for OpenAI because as they've gotten more. No, LLMs legitimately are not AI because they don't actively learn. They're a predictive text algorithm. That's what LLMs legitimately are by definition. They are not AI. They are trained using AI methods like machine learning, but they are not AI. Broken Rune, I'm not going to bother because the moment you get to the Jordan Peterson level of debate, I refuse to engage because I don't engage with people who mimic someone who had major brain damage due to black mold. LLMs legitimately aren't reapable. Like LLMs use AI methods to train, but the LLMs themselves are not AI. Broken Rune, you literally used the Jordan Peterson method of debate. Define intelligence. Define this. Like, no, we know what intelligence is. Taking in information and actually learning from it. LLMs are not able to actively take in information and learn from it. Are those action figures on my top shelf? No, most of those are Legos. Yeah, literally, it's the Jordan Peterson method of debate. I'm not going to bother with it. You literally, I'm bald because I have an overabundance of testosterone, you moron. Whereas this study found, this is an MIT study, so this is hosted on MIT's site, but they also have an easier access version. If you go to brainonllm.com. Broken Rune, I don't give a shit whatever you say at this point. You've gone down the Jordan Peterson method of debating, and then when I said I wouldn't engage with that, you said I have high estrogen because you thought that would bash me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Does it really matter? Then it's pre trained. Then it's not AI. Oh, Yao's back. Okay. Yao. Yeah, no, like, that's the thing. Like, I the Jordan Peterson debate method is just so dumb. And especially after someone was just trying to gish gallop and not actually engage, I'm not going to put up with the Philbro stuff and the Jordan Peterson stuff. It's no. And yeah, it's not that someone gave a good argument. Someone literally, instead of giving an actual argument, tried to do Jordan Peterson. Well, how do you define word? Well, how do you define? Well, how do you define things? Well, how do you and it's just so annoying and exhausting because if we fundamentally don't both understand what words mean, then I'm going to be spending this entire time explaining things to people. Stop with these streams. You're milking it. No, I did this stream today literally because Utah decided a 40,000 acre data center campus is a good idea. I'm streaming this because they're literally trying to destroy the state I live in for this stupid fucked up shit, because we don't need that much of a data center to run this bullshit. How do you define explaining? Yeah, no, it's also like the same mentality as like what's the guy's name? What are we even doing here? Like that mentality. I'm not a liberal. I run my own business and I'm not a liberal. So we've had someone saying that I have high estrogen and that's why they wouldn't honestly engage. We had someone say that I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't have the qualifications and that's why they don't engage. And I showed them my qualifications. Then we've also had the, well, you just hate AI. We've had the fear-mongering one. What was the one that just happened? Oh, I'm a liberal, even though I'm not a liberal. Like, are people just trying to prove this? Nemel doesn't even know how a satellite would be able to read temperature from a ground. That's telling. And then they just screamed, "No, I know." Really? You think it's not granular enough for the study that they were doing? Did you go read that guy's blog post? You said you were going to cite a source for me, and then when I mentioned the random dude on the internet blog post, you never actually showed me the source, which makes me really think that the source was that random dude's blog post. It's not in any of the comments. Fine, tell me what the title of the article is or the study. Because maybe you were one of those dumb people who doesn't realize that Twitch blocks links on most streams. No, the comments, Nemel. I'm not seeing the normal chat. I'm seeing this chat. I see messages that get deleted because I'm using this chat. No, no one deleted your comment. But if, let me guess, this was you trying to put it in the comments section again, wasn't it? Is that what it was? That's Twitch blocking it, you moron. Neville, it's on the fucking screen. Oh, I can't zoom in on this because it's a remote desktop. Nemel, notice right here. See how it shows asterisks? Because you don't understand how moderation works by an automated platform. It's going to show that you still sent the link so you don't spam it. Oh my fucking God. Why is it always people who don't know how things work? Like half the time, it's usually like hardcore Republicans who don't understand that Facebook will show them their own comment even though no one else can see it. And they're like, no, see, it's right there. It shows my comment to me, so you're just lying. Even though I show you on the stream that it's blocked out. Dude. Have you never used social media in your life? So help me if it's this dude's random blog post again. It's the dude's random blog post. It's a Substack article. It's literally the dude I mentioned. It's the random right-wing conservative journalist dude. It's literally what I already called out before you. Oh my gosh, the cognitive decline is real, people. Okay, what do you have against Republicans? Do I need to show you the current gas prices because of their stupidity? Do I need to show you the current trade wars because of their stupidity? The great Tim P. Yeah, it's been fun so far. Yeah, Idiocracy was a documentary from the future, like straight up. Okay, fine. Let's have the argument. Albino clear. What exactly did a Democrat do to raise the gas prices? I can show you exactly what a Republican did to raise the gas prices. What specific action did a Democrat do to cause higher gas prices than we have currently? I mean, like legislation or them starting a war, things like that. Something that you can actually point to. Yeah, welcome to someone deciding to point out one of the things that drives me nuts. Oh no, my TikTok chat is not working on my third part of my program right now. I wish I could like push it to reconnect. Oh, he's not going to reply. Like straight up, I have no confidence that he's going to reply. Hey, my TikTok chat is back. There we go. Honestly, streams like this are fairly cathartic. Like 5 minutes after this stream's over, I'm relaxing and like on the couch watching a movie, not even thinking about any of the stuff from the stream. Oh, I hope people are enjoying the stream. This has been a fun one today. Wait for it. He's creating his prompt to ask ChatGPT how Democrats raise the gas prices. Curious on how I feel about it being used for coding. I think most of the people who are using it for coding are doing a terrible job because they're not actually checking their code or understanding what's in their code. So they're literally creating slop code that's going to cause issues down the road. You're making a cyber deck. I don't understand the use of a cyber deck. I don't understand the point of a cyber deck, honestly. Albino clear. I've been sitting here waiting for you to respond to my question. I'm going to go get a drink of water. Let's see if you can answer the question. My question was, what direct things can you point to from Democrats that caused gas prices to go up? Like a law, a war starting, things like that. I'm going to go fill up my water. You have you have time. Ooh, I haven't even thought about how GitHub is doing with vibe coding. Thank you so much for the gift, Tom. I'll be right back. And it seems like he still didn't answer the question. Okay. Yeah, you didn't answer the question. You made a comment, but you didn't answer the question. Do you not have an answer? Just feel free to admit you don't have an answer. GitHub and vibe coding, that's... Happy Cinco de Mayo. Oh, I need to pester my partner. He ran out of tokens. Oh my god. That's the best reply. Oh yeah, the great Tim P. Honestly, that's a decent way to code with AI. Like the main problem I have is a lot of people are coding with AI and not bothering to check what the AI is giving them. And so they're just implementing stuff that ends up being not great. Oh god. Okay, I want Zoe to hear this one. AI bros seem to be trying to merge a lot of low quality PRs into open source projects. Here you go, Zoe. I like giving you nightmares. I have a problem with Republicans because literally I'm in the process of closing down my business because the motherfucker in the White House decided to start a trade war. So my computer repair shop can't get parts easily. I lost about 12 different suppliers. And anytime I bring up this issue, I get constant Republicans telling me, well, if you run a business, you should just manufacture the stuff yourself or find a US manufacturer. We don't manufacture that stuff, but Republicans are too fucking stupid to realize that. Because currently, if you're Republican, that means you support the people in Congress. The people in Congress are complicit and supporting the president as long as they're Republican because they see that R next to their name and they go, well, we need to let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Just like the fact that we are now multiple days past the point when a war has to be approved by Congress and they're doing jack shit about it, even though we're still in a war. No, I tell people what the business is and they still say, well, you should find a US supplier because they don't have any actual knowledge of what's manufactured in the US or the limitations of manufacturing in the US right now. We even had a fantastic bill that came out from the previous administration, the Chips and Jobs Act, that was actually bringing that manufacturing to the US. Do you know what happened to that one? Oh yeah, the moment that the dumb fuck got into office, he trashed it. I need access to motherboards, daughter boards, cases, shells, things like that. The parts of a computer. Yao, you don't listen to me. I'm just muting you for the rest of the entire live because I have shown how it's harmful. It's literally on the fucking screen still, and you're going, you haven't shown how it's a bubble, how harmful, and now you're talking about trade wars? Lol. Dude, the harm is literally on the screen, and you're going, you didn't show how it's harmful. No, you just don't want information that disagrees with you. Oh yeah, like I can't stand Biden. Like Biden was a horrible person, but at the same time there were quite a few things he did because of pressure from people further left than him that were fantastic. Yes, I voted for Kamala Harris because I don't think a senile old man who is literally showing signs of dementia should be someone who is voted for. Someone who has to brag about the fact that he's taken cognitive tests repeatedly and he can't seem to remember what's on the cognitive test because he makes bullshit up. I'm having tacos tonight. Oh, the reason we didn't have a better option last time is because Biden fucked up. Biden thought he was more capable and could continue, and he shouldn't have. He made a promise that he wasn't going to be more than one term or try to get more than one term, but then tried to get more than one term. And no, he shouldn't have. Like, yeah. Yay, there we go. Joe G. BB said, it's a bubble because the models don't produce enough value to justify the investment in them. Definition of a bubble. Well, honestly, like, yeah, we didn't have perfect stuff going in for the ways to get businesses to come to the US, but at the same time, it was at least better than nothing. Like, that's my mentality at this point is we need to be moving in the right direction. We aren't. And like every time we move like a few inches in the right direction, people go, well, it's not enough. And then we move way further in the wrong direction. Nemel, read the beginning of his article. Is he coming at this from a perspective of, I want to critique something, or did he come at this from a perspective of, I like AI and people who are against it are wrong? You're wrong. You're wrong. Like literally the first paragraph of the article tells you his motivation in the article. I was a journalist. It's easy to read someone's motivation when it's an op-ed type article like that. His opinion is in the article. You can read his bias in the article. Sotos, are you talking about my sources or the guy I was just referring to? Because if it's my sources, I don't go off of trust me, bro. I can show you my sources. Yeah, they can't read. They have Chat GPT for that. Okay, Nemo, what is my motivation that makes me take my stance? Because honestly, my motivation would have made me lean the other way than my stance is right now. Because here's a hint, I got paid a lot of money to promote AI. And I took it because I like AI. I got paid a lot of money. And I got to go to New York City free of charge. It was amazing. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done in my entire life. So if we're going off of my motivation would be not to promote this stuff, not to talk about this stuff that's on the screen. I'd just stay silent and in my lane and let the destruction happen. Then you wouldn't be using an article that is an opinion because he doesn't have a scientific background. He's a journalist. You would cite a paper that critiques the study, not an article. Yeah, I think that's honestly my favorite thing is a lot of people are just like, well, you're just biased against AI. And I'm like, do I need to pull up my email of the multiple companies that want to give me money to promote their AI? And do I need to pull up the video where I got paid to promote AI because I like AI and I like the tools that it can give as long as those tools are used decently and ethically? Oh yeah, no, Nemel doesn't notice that articles that he really likes has an ad like logo somewhere. I'm betting. Oh yeah, not my dog. That yeah. Yeah, that's the painful part. True. Vapor VR. That is not even a term I have heard since college. I'll be honest. I'll be straight up honest right now. I forgot that first and second degree sources was a term because I haven't heard it in almost 20 years. Okay, Nemel, then why haven't you found a paper that is studying if that study is true or not? You went with an article. Like, you're not listening to the words I'm saying. You're picking out some words. Like, you're hearing a keyword in what I say, and you're going off of that instead of actually listening to what I say. Yeah, no, he's not going to cross reference anything. He found one article that makes him feel right, and so he's going with that. You guys can even see some of my research method in this process. Like, you can see me finding an article that breaks things down decently and then finding what their sources are, then seeing if those sources are actually good. Because literally, I got to this page from this page. Let me see. If I click on this, no, it doesn't take me back to the Google result. Dang it. And then it got me to this page. Like, actually delving into something and checking the sources, checking the facts on it, finding multiple different sources on something. It's something that doesn't happen anymore. Nemel, I'm not even trying to reply to you anymore. I'm trying to teach you how to actually look at sources and see if they're accurate or not. Because one of the other reasons I actually cite this source is because there's multiple articles that cite this source, and they also cite two other uh, studies that are currently going on. Well, one of them isn't technically a study because it's not scientific research. It's just going off of the data of the areas around the data centers. Yeah, I'm probably going to take off in the next 20 minutes so that way I can go get dinner and possibly hang out with my partner. I probably aren't going to be ready to hang out at that time, but I still want dinner. I'm hungry. I'm getting tacos. I have decided that, and I'm going to make it happen. Tacos will be consumed tonight. Oh my gosh, the guy who wrote this article also has the annoying tendency of putting, hey, sign up for my email newsletter like every couple paragraphs. Nemel, have you looked to see if there's any other studies that are studying this data? Or anyone that is trying to peer review this paper and is putting out their findings already? Or did you find this article by this guy and you took that? Oh, I'm going for a crunch wrap. Like I know I say I'm gonna go get tacos, but I'm a trash person and I'm gonna probably go over to Taco Bell. I don't see how tacos could be a bubble. Usually the like investment in and reward out is equal. Oh my gosh. I knocked over my tablet. I thought I kicked a cat because I'm like, I don't know what would be there. The only thing that could be there is something I can't predict, and the only thing I can't predict in this house is my cats. I forgot I had put a new sticker on my tablet. Anyone else got any questions about what's on the board? When you say AI is a bubble, what's the outcome? We no longer use it? What would make you think that, Ramen Man? The .com bubble was a thing, and that .com bubble burst. Do we still use the internet and .coms? So why would the assumption be when the bubble bursts that we no longer use AI? We do not need large language models to reach AGI. Large language models are not likely going to help us in any way get to AGI. Because large language models are not AI. They are a predictive text algorithm. Yeah, AGI and LLMs are entirely different concepts. Large language models are literally for like predictive text. Sorry, I don't bring anyone up because I'm streaming on multiple platforms. Then Nemel, if you studied physics, you would know how to actually find information instead of relying on some random asshole's blog on the fucking internet. I'm shocked you don't believe that the earth is flat. Because I can find you different people's blogs that go over how studies on Earth's gravity and things like that are inaccurate because the methodology that they don't agree with in the paper. Like, same type of articles as the one you cited for proving that the Earth is flat. Ooh. Oh, shit, that's a fantastic take. Jordan Garcia, AGI starts the conversation, LLM keeps a conversation. That is a really good way to put it. Like, granted, anyone who doesn't actually understand AI and LLMs and things like that would not understand what that means at a fundamental level, but it's a great way to put it for people who do understand. Also, someone asked what the harm was, so I pulled this article back up so people could see. Oh. Don't get old. Nose hairs suck. I've explained it multiple times, Nemel. I've literally explained it to you multiple times. And I keep saying you're not listening, and then you prove that you don't listen. Like, I don't know how else to help you. Nemel, I've already gone over it as well. Fucking hell, dude. I don't think you actually went to college for physics at this point. Do you want to destroy the data centers? No. Oh, I love Minecraft. I need to play more Minecraft. I haven't in a while. No, I see no reason to actually destroy data centers. It's just we need to be using them better. Granted, there are some that probably should be destroyed that were built in neighborhoods that no matter what, they're going to be detrimental to those neighborhoods, but still. Zoe, my username is the bearded IT guy in Minecraft. It might be bearded IT guy because some things don't let me put the on the front of it. Someone made an LLM in Minecraft. That's awesome. Honestly, I love stuff like that. Like, that's one of the reasons why this bugs me so much. Like, yes, all of these things are true and it's harmful. It's also really cool technology when used properly. Yeah, but the thing is, bubbles don't mean that the thing goes away when the bubble pops. I think Ramen Man doesn't get that part. Like, the bubble will pop, but AI will still be around and LLMs will still be around. It's just, it won't be an investment for massive companies. No, Nemel, my main problem is his methodology about how he goes about the entire thing. He's not a credible person for the criticization he's giving, but he's doing it from a place of criticization instead of a place of facts. His article is an opinion. You can see that in the article itself, and then he goes into what he claims are the facts, but he's already shown that he's going at it from a biased source. When I mentioned this before, you then said that I'm a biased source and that I have motivation. And you called me a motivated actor. And I asked you what how I am a motivated actor, and you never actually replied to that. Because you realized how fucking wrong you were. Are you starting to remember the conversation? Yes, but when a source is biased and doesn't have qualifications for the things that they're saying, then it's less credible. And so it's not something I am going to take seriously until someone who actually has qualifications for what they're talking about actually also says the same thing. If a 5-year-old came up to you today who has never been to school and explain to you the full breakdown of how E equals MC squared, you wouldn't take them seriously. You would think that they're just spouting something out. It's the same thing with this guy. He does not have the qualifications to meet the burden of proof of what he's doing. Hence why I've repeatedly asked you for other fucking sources. Yeah, Nemel, at this point, I'm just muting you and moving on because you're not fucking listening to me. Ever. You're just making demands of me. And it's just annoying. Have a good afternoon. Oh, good God. That is the most dude bro profile pic I've ever seen. Who's the guy that reminds me of? That reminds me of someone so much. I want to say it's like a character from a TV show. Oh yeah, that would be a burden shift. How did the timeout not work on you? No, it's not Elijah Wood or Daniel Radcliffe. No, you look like one of the douchebag programmers in a TV show. Yeah, you're literally in a timeout and still able to chat in my chat. What the fuck, Twitch? Okay. Yeah, fine. I'll just go back to ignoring you if Twitch doesn't know how to time out a person properly. What does AI is a bubble mean? Well, here. Learn about Tulip Mania. You'll learn about bubbles. Ooh, it's almost time for me to go get tacos. Oh yeah, I bring up Tulip Mania because it's one of the easiest ways to explain to people an economic bubble. And the amount I've had to explain economic bubbles to people, at this point, I just don't. Because if you don't know what a bubble is and you're asking me, I'm not going to sit here and explain it because there's too many people also in here disagreeing with me on things, and I'd rather get through that. No, the harm doesn't just come from people using them with malicious intent. It can also be people relying on them. This one. This one's better. It's the same thing, but it's just the full site and the MIT version of the site. Oh, if you have a general tech question, feel free to ask. Here, let me do that for a second. Let me do that for a second, and I'm just going to lean back for a second and just. It's been 3 hours, in case anyone's wondering. And it's been 3 hours of people who really like AI proving this study right over and over again. Oh yeah, LLMs are a fantastic tool. There's no doubt in my mind that they're a fantastic tool, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. How many brain cells have I lost so far? Quite a few, most likely. I'm pretty sure. I think I screwed myself by listening to Jovan Bradley's stream earlier and listening to some of the callers from that and then doing this stream. I think that really fucked me over today. Alexi, what am I wrong about? You just came into the stream and said wrong. Mr. Lazybones, give me a good tech question that I can answer. Before another AI person jumps into the chat and tells me, yeah, or shows me how AI is harmful to the human brain. I'm really looking forward to when I make that switch over to doing like 3 hours of streaming on TikTok and then switching over to YouTube and Twitch only. I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, Spirit was already having issues last year, and then like the fuel prices really did a number. And now Republicans are trying to blame it on anyone other than their golden calf. Yeah, let me know. What's your question about PC components? There's some I can answer, some I can't, but they're always fun. Also, no one look at how messy my desk is over here. Just ignore this. It's actually a good question. If you're really trying to get performance out of it, then you want to have higher speed and the same speed. Um, with the same timing and everything. Like, but honestly, most people aren't going to notice the performance shift. Like, that's the main thing is with a lot of computer components, you can go for the ultimate performance and everything like that, but a lot of people won't notice it. Um, unless you're like, let's see, did you mention how much RAM in gigabytes? No, it is DDR5. What gigabyte amount? You feel like I'm rage baiting. No, I'm genuinely serious about these things over here. And I genuinely want to educate people, but there's a lot of people who jump in who aren't wanting anything negative to be said. Honestly, I don't think you will notice, Mr. Lazybones. And also with the price of components right now, I don't think it's worth it to get the other kit. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think the average user is going to notice the performance boost that they would get. And I don't think it's worth it right now. Okay, let's see. Raven asked me a question over on YouTube. HDMI panel mount extension cables. Yes, they can cause signal degradation. Hence why, so my overhead camera up here, this is only a 1080p camera, but let me switch over to it for a second. This is my 1080p camera. Ignore my gross looking coffee cup. But I have a 4K extension on it because I need to go from mini HDMI to HDMI. And I had to make sure that the adapter was 4K, 60 FPS, like could do the bandwidth. Um, because the cables I'm going to, this one isn't going into a 4K capture card, but when I originally got it, it was going into a 4K capture card. And also the dongle I use on this one can also be used on my nice Canon camera. The coffee mug was filled with coffee like 2 days ago. Actually, no, it was probably last week. Last time this had coffee in it was probably when my partner was here for a visit. Because they made me coffee every morning and it was one of the best things ever. And oh my God, I love them so much. Now I'm going to have to send my partner a clip of my live stream for that little moment when I just gushed about them. No, I will usually reuse my coffee mug the next day. Like, there's sometimes I will rinse it out, but so many times I just put it in the coffee maker. What's this cable going from my laptop? This is the charger. This is just my Type-C cable. I don't need it plugged in right now. My laptop's fully charged. No, don't fall off the table. But this is just one of my Type-C chargers. I'm going to hide my screen a little bit more. Let's go back to this one. Even though I know that camera can't read any of the words on my screen. Yeah, LLMs are really cool. They're also harmful, greed-driven, and a bubble in the US. Currently, I think they're a net negative in the US. They also cause harm like this. Okay, any final things for me before I hop off? It's been a decent stream. Oh. Yeah, if you have a 2012 HP Lightbook, how are you still using it? I mean, yeah, there's fantastic uses for large language models and AI, but that doesn't change the fact that they're harmful, greed-driven, and a bubble currently. Yeah, that's the only way I think you could keep that computer running. That's impressive. Yeah, that's a really good point. The people who use LLMs as a crutch versus cognitive prosthesis. It's actually a really good point. Alexi, at no point have I said they're not incredibly useful tools. If I didn't think they were useful tools, I wouldn't have spent so much time looking at our AI and seeing what I could actually run myself and seeing what I could do and deep diving into things, having things like DeepSeek on my phone so I could test things out. Like, yeah. Oh, good Lord, TikTok. I used to do this thing on TikTok. I would, like, when I was going to set my phone down, I would go over to the like notifications part of TikTok. So that way TikTok wouldn't play audio when I pick up my phone. TikTok has decided, even if you're in the notifications area when you turn off your phone, if you pick it back up, it's going to put you back into the normal stream. Give me a second. I need to go check out something. Oh god, I think I'm gonna have an annoying customer because the one that has a failed motherboard and it looks like the person tried to repair it themselves at some point thought that when I said we would have a diagnosis most likely ready within 72 hours unless we run into complications, took that as we would have it fixed within 72 hours. People can't listen and it's annoying. No, I don't think AI is more useful than harmful. I fundamentally disagree with you on that, Oni. AI in its current state in the United States is more harmful than useful. If we looked at it from the entire world, then it's more useful than harmful. But if we're looking at it from the United States, it's more harmful than useful right now. AI makes people even lazier, if that's even possible. That's a funny one. Yeah, Zoe, I'm not looking forward to that conversation with that customer. I was originally going to send him a diagnosis today, but this one is ugh. Here, Oni, I'll give you a brilliant example. They just moved forward on building a 40,000 acre data center campus in Utah that is going to be using 9 gigawatts of power. The state of Utah uses 4 gigawatts of power. That's harm. That's a lot of harm. Yeah, no, that's the other thing, Zoe. I'm just like, I break it down with my customers every single time. I will send you the estimate and you can say if you want me to go ahead with the repairs or not. I bought this from the dollar store, and it's probably the worst thing of all time. The flavor is good, but it's totally bad for me. Okay, final thoughts. Anything. There's no thoughts in my head left. They ran away with that Republican guy. Okay, any last things before I head out? Yeah, but Oni, I have to go off of the perspective of where I am. And especially with something like this, if it was beneficial and not harmful in the US, but it was massively harmful in another country, I would still say it's harmful. But shockingly, this is one of those times that the US is doing something where it's destroying its own country instead of destroying another one for profit and gain for its own country. It's weird. They've kind of done it differently this time. Oh, I hope it doesn't go through in Brazil. It's bad enough we're screwing over our own country. Don't want to do it to others. Which this one is by a Canadian. Okay, I'm gonna get so much flack for this, but I really want to do this video. I want to make a video where I'm just like, I can't stand how these people come into our country and ruin it. They completely destroy things, they make it horrible, and then have his picture, Kevin O'Leary's picture, on the screen as I'm saying it, so it's clear I'm talking about the stupid fucking Canadian billionaire who's fucking over the US. Yeah. I'm just I was gonna have a normal day of answering tech questions today, but this became a major thing yesterday. I don't even have an article for what happened yesterday, but still. Oh yeah, it would fit with Elon too. Wow, yeah. I could make the joke even better by saying there's so many of them coming into this country and then ruining it. And it's all just the billionaires. What? Come here. Come here. And scoop. And scramble. She doesn't want to get picked up. Let's make sure you guys can hear the adorableness. I really hope you all could hear that. Let me fix your lip. There you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah, right? She's so cute and adorable. Oh, who's a good baby? Mwah. I'm just like, how can I get her to make another sound? Oh, if I go in and give her a kiss. Mwah. Yeah, it only kisses. Mwah. Come here. Come here. What's next? Oh, now you're playing Damsel in Distress. Okay. Okay. I'm going to head off. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Probably starting next week, I'm going to be doing the thing of I'm going to be live on TikTok for like the first few hours, and then the final 2 hours will be over on just YouTube and Twitch. Just FYI for everyone who's watching. Follow me on YouTube and Twitch, preferably YouTube because that's the one that I'm more likely to get paid from and have better outcomes because of. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. You all are awesome. I will see you guys later. Bye, TikTok. Now that we're alone, YouTube and Twitch, how are you all doing? No, I was gonna raid the aquarium again because I did that one last time and I love that place. I already had it queued up and ready. Because it's otters. I like otters. Don't judge me. They're cute and adorable. And my best friend loves otters. Okay. Send you guys over to raid over on that one. Have fun. Enjoy some otters. I think all of us can use a little bit of otter video for a little bit because of how some of this stream went. So have fun, hang out with the otters. Everyone over on YouTube, thank you guys for hanging out with me. You guys are fantastic. Just had to send Twitch over to Otterville. And I will see you guys on Thursday.